Brought to you by Penguin.
Elastic. Flexible thinking in a time of change. This is the author, Leonard Mlodinow. Note, this audiobook comes with a PDF that we will refer to from time to time. Introduction. The Demands of Change. On July 6, 2016, Niantic, a 40-person startup company founded by ex-employees of Google's Geo division, launched Pokémon Go, an augmented reality game that employs a phone's camera to let people capture virtual creatures that appear on their screens as if they exist in the real world. Within 2 days, the app had been installed on more than 10% of all Android phones in the United States, and within 2 weeks, it had 30 million users. Soon, iPhone owners were spending more time each day on Pokémon Go than on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, or Twitter. Even more impressive, within days of the game's release, the words Pokémon Go drew more searches on Google than the word porn. If you're not a gamer, you might roll your eyes or shrug at all that, but in the business world, the events were hard to ignore. The game generated an astonishing $1.6 million in revenue each day from domestic Apple users alone. Just as important, it added $7.5 billion to Niantic's market value virtually overnight. And within a month, it had doubled the stock price of Nintendo, the company that owns the Pokémon trademark. In its first 6 months of existence, more than 600 million people downloaded the Pokémon Go app. Contrast that with some of the great successes of the early 2000s. Facebook launched in 2004, but didn't hit the 30 million user mark until 2007. The hugely popular World of Warcraft game, also released in 2004, took 6 years to climb to its peak of 12 million subscribers. What seemed like pedal-to-the-metal growth back then became, 10 years later, life in the slow lane. And though no one can predict what the next big new thing will be, most economists and sociologists expect that society will only continue to morph faster in the foreseeable future. But to focus only on the speed of Pokémon Go's ascent is to miss much of the point. The game's massive success might not have been predictable, but neither was it accidental. In creating the app, Niantic made a series of innovative and forward-thinking decisions concerning the use of technology, such as piggybacking on the GPS and camera capabilities of a cell phone, and leveraging cloud computing to power the app, which provided a built-in infrastructure and a capacity to scale. The game also took advantage, like nothing before it, of App Store economics, a business model that hadn't even been invented when World of Warcraft launched. In that now familiar approach, a game is given away free of charge and makes its money by selling add-ons and upgrades. Maintaining that revenue stream was another challenge. In the interactive entertainment industry, a game can start out popular and still have the shelf life of raw oysters. To avoid that fate, Niantic surprised many with a long campaign to aggressively update the app with meaningful features and content. As a result, a year after its launch, 65 million people were still playing the game each month, and revenues had reached $1.2 billion. Before Pokémon Go, the conventional wisdom was that people didn't want a game that required physical activity and real-world interaction. And so, despite all the innovation in Silicon Valley, the Pokémon Go developers were often admonished that gamers just want to sit and play. But the developers ignored that widely held assumption, and by leveraging existing technologies in a novel way, they changed the way game developers think. The flip side of the Pokémon Go story is that if your thinking is not deft, your company can quickly sink. Just look at BlackBerry, Blockbuster, Borders, Dell, Eastman Kodak, Encyclopedia Britannica, Sun Microsystems, Sears, or Yahoo. And they are just the tip of the iceberg. In 1958, the average lifespan of companies in the S&P 500 was 61 years. Today, it is about 20. We have to face analogous intellectual challenges in our daily lives. Today, we consume, on average, a staggering 100,000 words of new information each day.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?